Hi, I'm Faith Pinto from LA Times Studios in Washington, D.C. Here are some of today's top stories from the Los Angeles Times. Lawmakers are sounding the alarm after new details emerged about U.S. military strikes on alleged Venezuelan drug boats. According to LA Times reporters, U.S. forces have targeted more than 20 vessels off the coast of Venezuela since September, a move the Trump administration says is aimed at disrupting major cocaine routes into the U.S. Senior officials say the actions were approved after intelligence showed the boats were tied to drug groups backed by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government. But a new report is shedding light on the legality of the military's tactics. The Washington Post reports that on September 2nd, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered 2 back-to-back strikes, ordering forces to, quote, kill them all, referring to any survivors in the water. Hegseth denied the allegations during a cabinet meeting Tuesday, saying he didn't see anyone in the water because, quote, the thing was on fire, and cited what he called the fog of war. Trump, too, has long said that he had no knowledge of any kill order and that he wouldn't have authorized such a move. Here's what he told reporters Sunday.
One, I don't know that happened. And Pete said he did not want them. He didn't even know what people were talking about. So we'll look into it. But no, I wouldn't have wanted that. Not a second strike. The first strike was very lethal. It was fine. And if there were 2 people around, but Pete said that didn't happen.
Does that make you?
I have great confidence.
You saying there's no second strike?
I don't know. I'm going to find out about it. But Pete said he did not order the death of those 2 men.
But concern on Capitol Hill continued to grow early in the week. Democratic Representative Ted Lieu, who served in the legal branch of the Air Force, said killing shipwreck survivors is a war crime. And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed Monday that multiple strikes were in fact authorized by Hegseth that day. Let's take a listen.
The initial order from Secretary Hegseth, everyone be killed, and did that come from President Trump?
I saw that quoted in a Washington Post story. I would reject that the Secretary of War ever said that. However, the president has made it quite clear that if narco-terrorists, again, are trafficking illegal drugs towards the United States, he has the authority to kill them. And that's what this administration is doing. Danny.
Now, a bipartisan group of senators, including Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, and Tim Kaine, are calling for legislation to restrict the president's authority, a move that would require Congress to authorize any further military force against Venezuela. The controversy comes amid conflicting signals from Trump, who has warned airlines to avoid Venezuelan airspace and confirmed a weekend call with Maduro, though he refused to provide any details. Meanwhile, Hegseth is facing even more backlash for publicizing the operations, including posting a militarized image of the children's book character Franklin the Turtle on social media. And as scrutiny mounts, Capitol Hill is watching closely. Lawmakers from both parties are pressing for answers about the legality of the strikes, the White House's role, and the broader strategy in Venezuela. And the former president of Honduras was released from federal prison Monday after receiving a pardon from President Trump. According to reporters, Juan Orlando Hernández served just over a year of his 45-year sentence, accused of accepting bribes from drug traffickers and helping to move some 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S. His wife announced the news of his release on X Tuesday, thanking Trump and calling his freedom the end of years of pain and uncertainty, dating back to his arrest in 2022. Trump was asked about the decision on Air Force One over the weekend. He said people in Honduras pushed for the pardon and argued that Hernández was set up. Trump doubled down on those claims, saying he reviewed the facts and agreed. Here's what he told reporters over the weekend.
So you share that he was set up and that he wasn't?
Well, you take a look. I mean, they could say that you take any country you want. If somebody sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life. And that includes this country, okay? To be honest, I mean, if somebody does something wrong, do you put the president of the country in jail? They said it was a Biden setup. It was a Biden administration setup. And you have a big race going on this week, next week. I think it's going to be a very important race. It'll be interesting to see Honduras.
Hernandez has always maintained his innocence, saying he was the victim of revenge by drug traffickers that he helped extradite to the United States. But during his 2024 sentencing, the judge said the evidence proved Hernandez used his power to protect the drug trade, all while posing as an anti-crime champion. Now, questions turn to what happens next. Hernandez is not guaranteed a safe return to Honduras. The country's attorney general says his office is obligated to pursue justice, though no formal charges had been announced as of Tuesday. Meanwhile, the timing of the pardon landed just days before Honduras's presidential election, and it's now being seen as a political wildcard, one that may have shifted support towards Hernandez's former national party. That's it for now. To read these stories and more, be sure to subscribe to the LA Times.